In this video, we're going to take a look at a recliner that has no handle, and it's not an electric unit either. It's a manual recliner. Now, I don't see this type of recliner very often, and it represents a particular type that was not covered in my video, How to Buy the Right Recliner. So we're going to take a look at it here today. You're going to see how this one works and what makes it different from other manual recliners. The chair I have here on the bench today is a lane recliner that was made in 2003. So let's get started. You can call this a push-back recliner because that's how you open the footrest. You put your hands on the arms and literally push back to recline the chair. Once the footrest is fully open and you're in the TV viewing position, you can push against the back again to fully recline. To close the chair, lift your torso to bring the back in the upright position, and then push down with your heels to close the footrest. This chair, despite its age, closes so easily that it requires very little effort. The weight of your torso against the back keeps it reclined, so when you want to sit up, simply lift your shoulders, and the spring action helps return you to the upright position. The spring assist with closing the footrest also makes it nearly effortless. It's a good design that's held up well on this chair. They make a number of different styles of these push-back recliners, but the two that I've seen most often in my area are this one that looks like a large comfy club chair and another style that's sometimes called a high leg recliner. The high leg is often made with a smaller seat for smaller, more petite body types, while this club chair style often fits normal to larger individuals. Now, the same fit guidelines that were covered in another video apply to these chairs as well. So make sure that any recliner you buy fits you properly and that it's comfortable and easy to operate. Again, see How to Buy the Right Recliner for more on proper fit. Okay, let's take a look at some of the advantages that this chair has to offer. On the plus side, the first thing you'll likely notice is the styling. It has the look of a nice, comfortable chair. In fact, many people will not even know it's a recliner. So this chair can work well in areas where you're trying to achieve a certain look or decor. And if you buy one that is comfortable with the footrest closed, you basically have two chairs in one because you don't necessarily have to use it as a recliner. And that can be a big plus further down the road. Let's say you have a chair that lasts a good long time like this 18-year-old Lane. Well, eventually the mechanism will fail, and when it does, the chair may be so old that replacement parts are no longer available. Well, if you used it as a regular chair as well, you can simply wire the footrest shut and continue to use it, provided the rest of the chair is still in good condition, of course. Now, when any upholstered furniture gets very old, you're going to have to replace or refresh the padding, and this recliner has a separate seat cushion like a normal chair. So you can simply cut and install a new piece of foam or take the cushion to an upholsterer to have it done for you. With other recliners, you'll typically have an attached seat. With those, you often have to remove the entire reclining mechanism and the attached seat cover that's usually fastened directly to the frame. With this separate seat cushion, access to the seat foam is only a zipper away. As for the arm frame padding, good construction combined with good quality padding that was used in 2003 on this chair has it still looking like new. From the looks of it, the arm padding here might last another 18 years. The back padding can also be restuffed or refreshed, though that procedure will take more effort than replacing the seat foam. All in all, there would not be a lot of time or money spent on refreshing the padding on this recliner. And actually, right now, it still looks and feels pretty good. This genuine leather cover has held up the way real leather should on furniture, and used to years ago. The natural wrinkling and marks from use over the years just add to the character of the leather and the chair. But for many years now, most furniture coverings have come from overseas where quality control is not always good. And as a result, a common problem with leather like this installed on mass-produced furniture today is the color coming off, often where your head or arms rest against the chair. And of course, there are so many leather-like or faux leather products on furniture these days as well, and they're simply not going to last as long as the real thing, like we have here. The mechanisms on push-back recliners are the most simple on any recliner. It consists of two leg extension scissors, Here's one, and here's the other one. And that's it. On this chair, those leg extenders are mounted to two steel frame rails here. This simple design means these mechanisms are often easier to service and replace than other styles. And you may have noticed that the reclining mechanism does not also serve as the supporting structure or legs of the chair, like on many other recliners. It has its own legs. The mech here has just one job, to open and close the footrest, so if it becomes damaged or bent, it does not affect the stance of the chair. And in this lane they installed a coiled seat spring unit, which you don't typically see on recliners. This design allows enough space for these coils. So far there's a lot to like about this design. Now let's look at some of the disadvantages. Eventually your deck panel, this fabric layer that the seat cushion rests on, will likely develop holes like this. That's because the panel acts as a buffer between the underside of the seat cushion and the top of the mechanism under the chair. Over time, the metal parts will cut through and damage this panel, and then start to damage the underside of the seat cushion as well. And that looks like this. This is a very common issue with these chairs as they get older, and the fix is simple. Keep an eye on this issue by checking the deck panel once in a while. When you see damage to the panel is about to create a hole, simply install a new deck panel or splice a patch over the affected area. If you buy one of these chairs with a well-built frame, like this one, it will be heavy, so it's not as easy to lift and move. But if you prefer quality furniture, that's what you want. It means you have a more robust, stronger frame. And don't be fooled by recliners that are heavy because of the large metal mechanisms that add weight to those chairs. This chair has few metal parts. Also, the back on this chair is bolted on, and the outside back panel is stapled to the underside of the bottom of the chair. So if you have to remove the back to get through some narrow doorways or whatever, with this chair it's a lot more time consuming than other recliners that have backs that slide off. So check to see how the back attaches if you know you're going to have to remove it. Many newer chairs have gone away from this bolt-on design, but I'm not sure about newer versions of this pushback style. They may or may not still bolt on. The other downside that I see with this chair is how the arm frames are attached. They are only attached at one location, and that's toward the bottom of each arm frame to the metal rails underneath. And there's a reason for that. Both the chair back and the seat have to be able to move away from or alongside the arm frames in order to recline. So the arm frames cannot be attached to those areas. If they were, the chair wouldn't recline. So what's the downside with these arm frames? Well, a lot of people like to lay against furniture arms, or maybe throw their legs over them from time to time, or even sit on them. And that can be a problem with this design. And with any newer mass-produced furniture for that matter, because as a general rule, they don't make frames as strong anymore. Pressure against these arm frames over time can cause the frames to lean and loosen. Remember, they only have one attachment point, so if you're fond of laying against your chair arms in one way or another, you can't expect the frame or frames to begin loosening up at some point and leaning. In fact, that's why this chair is in my shop, to repair one of the arm frames for that very reason. But I need to point out that many recliners have this design issue, not just the pushback recliners. All right, let's sum things up. Keep in mind that this Lane chair was a mass-produced recliner that was made 18 years ago, and the construction and leather quality used at that time is not likely to be available today in the mass-produced market. You can probably get one that looks like this, but it's not likely to hold up as well as this one has unless you spend more. To get the quality that we have here, you're probably going to have to buy one that's made by a company that makes better quality furniture than the mass-produced brands. To learn more about what companies make better furniture, see the video, Who Makes the Best Recliners? There's a lot to like about these pushback recliners. If you don't need a lot of bells and whistles like heat and massage and all the extras that are out there, if you just want a comfortable chair that also reclines, a club chair style pushback recliner may be what you're looking for. Be sure to try out some of these the next time you're in the market for a new chair or a recliner.